to Lila Cafe. I hope you're thirsty for the tea of the week because this is one of my favorites. It's Lemon and Lime Twist by Ahmad Tea. I have a few notes before we get into today's topic of discussion. Firstly, this is my very first commentary video, and it's my first time writing a script for a video, so if the tone or vibe is different, that's why. Another reason that this video may sound different is because I got new mics. Hopefully your ears will enjoy the boost in quality. I'm really grateful for the ability to have nicer audio, and I know you all will enjoy it too. The artwork featured today is sort of a tease for two original characters of mine that are actually not new whatsoever. These characters have existed since like 2017, and I'm not going to be telling their names yet or much about them. Let me know what kind of characters you think they are or what kind of personality they might have. You can also guess what their names are. But if you're one of the few that already know about these very special characters, please help me keep it a secret until I finally reveal them. And with that, let's discuss the problem with Pinterest. Aside from the major AI slop issues, so many ads that you can't see the website's actual content, and removing pins seemingly at random and with no discretion, I think that one of the main issues that Pinterest has is not crediting work properly, specifically artwork. Pinterest has been known as a great resource for artists practically since Ben Silbermann gave birth to it in 2010. The original purpose of the site was, quote, to construct a visual space for the collection and sharing of ideas. And from here, it would be one of the fastest growing social media platforms on the internet due to its visual appeal. However, it was thought that the site would provide a solution to a problem online, which they refer to as a need for creative people to be able to share ideas quickly and in an organized way, and to develop a sense of community. One could argue that it does allow people to do this just fine, but I have to bring up this point. I think that sense of community becomes lost when we don't give credit to the sources of ideas that we're sharing. If we can't say where we're collecting ideas from, how can we really form a solid community? And right now, having a community as artists is incredibly important due to the manifestation and worship of AI and its war on real artists. Companies are fighting tooth and nail to erase human touch from every aspect of their products and therefore erasing the need for us. By not crediting artists, we are in a way doing the same thing that AI does, which is ripping art from artists and using it in whatever way we see fit. Plagiarism is sort of a separate issue, but at the same time, it plays a huge role in why this is such a large issue in the first place. If an artist or someone with any sort of idea is never credited, people will never be able to find them or learn more about them. Let's talk more about why plagiarism is a problem, because a lot of people seem not to care, and I think we're being made not to care. Big companies make a lot of profit from you not caring, so let's talk about it. As someone who uses Pinterest, I'm a consumer of images and ideas. If I like an idea and I want to reference it or save it, I should definitely be able to. But what if I want to tell somebody else about it or learn more about it? What if I want to continue the research or expand upon it? If there's no source attached to an image or idea, how can I possibly do such a thing? We reach a dead end to our capability to learn and spread knowledge when we can't find a source. It's so important to retrace your steps when learning something new or acknowledging something beautiful. Let's take an example. You see an incredibly anatomically correct statue with accuracy that's so startling it almost looks real. You take a photo and you add it to your Pinterest board called art or references. The next day your friend notices the pin and they ask you for more information on it, and you have no clue what to say. The statue you photographed is in fact the statue of David by Michelangelo, but you had no clue. Not only do you sound ignorant, but incidentally, you are also, whether intentionally or not, keeping somebody from being able to learn as well. I know that's a ridiculous example, but I think it may be where we're headed if we continue to have such a large disregard for artists of this day and age. So many incredible and worthy artists have works that are being passed around and admired by hundreds of thousands of users, yet they remain entirely anonymous due to the lack of effort by Pinterest to encourage users to credit authors and creators. Writers from Yale University Center for Teaching and Learning Center say that citing sources and giving proper credit allows people to, quote, become more mature thinkers. While reading through their article on this topic, which will be linked below, I found something that struck me and I think will help illustrate my feelings more accurately. They answer quite poignantly why citing sources is so important, writing, "Think of yourself as having a conversation with the sources. When you move back and forth between your own thinking and what sources have to say, you push your ideas further than you would by going it alone. The resulting essay should give your reader the sense that you're joining an ongoing conversation, that you respect other thinkers, and that you're adding something new to the conversation." From this excerpt from their article, they're talking specifically about writing, but I believe that this applies to all forms of ideas and information, including works of art. And this is ultimately how you build a community. You bounce ideas off of one another and speak to each other with the respect of at least acknowledging each other by name. I feel like it's the least that we can do, to give credit as it's deserved. It's a silly idea to have so much admiration and draw so much inspiration from someone and not even know their name. Imagine the whole world having so much respect and admiration for the Mona Lisa and having no idea who Leonardo da Vinci is. I think that's the track that we're on, and it's my hope for not only myself, but for other artists out there who are much more deserving than I am, that we can at least have our names associated with our work. While we're on the topic, let's look at some other opinions on the issue with Pinterest I found around the internet. Several Reddit users have noted that Pinterest doesn't prioritize or protect artists that are responsible for the large majority of the images that are used and shared on the site. One user, Heckett23, posted saying that many of Pinterest copyright policies are, quote, out of touch. They say that this policy is totally out of touch with how digital art culture works. Another user commented on how rampant the issue is, but they have found a solution that works for them. They say it's incredibly common for art to get stolen and reposted on Pinterest, especially without credit, but that if you have issues with finding the original artist, you can post it into reverse image search. I do think that doing reverse image searches is a great way to find an original artist, but I don't think that it should be the number one solution to this issue. I want to note that before I wrap this up, this commentary isn't to try to blame the users of Pinterest or attack anyone in particular, because I think it's more of an issue created by happenstance. I don't really believe that people are purposefully denying credit to artists. Pinterest does not require credit for any type of posts that is made on their site, and I don't think that they'll push users to do so because they want as much access to royalty-free content as they can possibly get. While I largely blame the issue on Pinterest for not prioritizing giving credit to its content creators, there is some responsibility on us. If you use Pinterest like me, you're probably guilty of pinning something without knowing its origins, and while it's not primarily your responsibility to locate the artists and give them credit, I think a little effort goes a long way, especially if making that change is important to you. I want to thank you all so much for stopping by today and watching this video. I hope you found it thought-provoking and worthy of your ear. I also hope that by talking about the issue, we can better understand why it's important to care about things like plagiarism and crediting artists. Also, I know the cafe is supposed to be a place of rest, but I hope that you might find comfort in sharing our concerns as an artistic and creative community. Please leave your thoughts down below and let me know if you had any similar experiences or feelings about the subject. I think that your voice on the matter is very important. Thank you so much for joining me at Lila Cafe today, and please come back soon for another hot cup of tea. See you next time. You're one of the few that already know about these very special characters. Please help. Oh my god, my freaking voice cracked.